14-year-old, she had a ring on her finger, on her ring finger. She had a ring on her finger. They've all kind of like hidden those. I mean, we know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Self-proclaimed prophet and fundamentalist church leader Samuel Bateman could have upwards of 20 wives, some of them underage. But instead of facing sex trafficking or polygamy charges, Bateman is charged with obstructing a federal investigation and aiding in kidnapping.
You know, they always say they got Al Capone on tax evasion. At the end of the day, what is chargeable in this case and what is winnable in this case may be different than what was going on.
Defense attorney Duncan Levin tells Law&Crime Network prosecutors brought charges against Bateman strategically.
They're charging him with two things at the core of the case. The first is tampering with evidence, and the other is playing a role in absconding with some young women from basically a foster home that they were staying at. Those two things are not really what everyone is talking about, which is him taking wives and the entire aspect of the case that isn't really charged. But what this is talking about is him encouraging people to delete the Signal app from their phone and from playing a role in moving people from one location to another. Those are the federal crimes here. So it's charged in a very conservative way, which is much more likely to help the prosecution get a conviction at the end of the day.
Bateman was arrested on August 28th in Flagstaff, Arizona. He was pulled over after authorities received multiple calls from people concerned about his trailer.
Why children are being transported in a vehicle. We're getting calls about hands sticking out of a vehicle, out of the trailer. So that is why we're contacting you guys, because it is unsafe for children to be riding in a trailer.
Inside the trailer, investigators found 3 girls hiding, ages 11 to 14. The trailer had makeshift seats and a porta potty inside.
Where are the hands? Let's see the hands.
Let's get that other door open.
There's hands sticking out of the top of the trailer. There's hands sticking out of the top of the trailer earlier. Let's see them.
Bateman was detained when he refused to cooperate with authorities.
What is your name?
Samuel.
Samuel what?
Do I have to tell you my name?
I'm asking for your name.
Yeah, I don't have to tell you, right?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
what is your name?
Samuel.
Samuel what?
Is he the driver?
Yeah.
Okay, you have to identify yourself. You understand that, right?
I don't know. I'm just wondering. Yeah, Samuel Bateman.
Samuel Bateman.
I don't understand, but what are you doing? They're trying to...
Samuel, I just got here. Explain to me what's going on.
Calm down first.
I am calm.
You're being videoed.
Yeah, you're being videoed as well. Okay.
He was later arrested and eventually charged on the state and federal levels.
Hey, Samuel, so you're under arrest for endangerment, okay? You're going to go to the Coconino County Jail right down the street here in Flagstaff.
I'll just tell you right now, I'm not going to say anything.
Okay. Go ahead, see.
Federal court documents say Bateman is a leader in the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints, or FLDS. The church, known for practicing polygamy, is an offshoot of the modern Latter-day Saints church. Authorities say Bateman punished FLDS followers who did not treat him as a prophet.
What about him?
At this point, he's detained right now. I don't know. Okay, I understand that, but like he said, once we do our investigation, we can figure this out.
Body camera footage shows authorities speaking with some of Bateman's self-proclaimed wives, explaining why they were stopped.
Like I said, nothing to do with your beliefs, your religion, anything of that nature. It all has to do with the suspicious nature of what was going on, and then when we do open doors and kids start popping out of trailers, we're like, okay, what do we have going on here? So again, it may be common practice where you guys are from. That's not common practice in Flagstaff.
Later, the women are told Bateman is being arrested.
Are you Naomi?
Yes.
Okay, he's giving you permission to take the vehicle.
Okay. Do you have a...
Comfortable with that?
Yes, but isn't he coming?
Following Bateman's arrest, 3 of his wives were arrested and charged with federal counts of kidnapping and impeding a foreseeable prosecution. Levin says even more charges could be on the way.
4 people are under arrest so far. There may be more in coming days and weeks. And I think that's something that we'll keep an eye on as the evidence develops. We'll get a sense of whether they're going to be taking in more people. It is an effective strategy that prosecutors often use to try to get people at lower levels of an organization and flip them all the way to the top. What's unusual about this case is that they've started right at the top. And so it may be that they've brought all the charges they are going to bring, and they'll work on these 3 other women defendants to try to get more evidence against the alleged leader.
Levin says prosecutors are limited with what charges they can bring based on what evidence they've collected.
Yeah, I mean, this is where the limits of the government's power comes into play. They're doing what they can to stop behavior that they feel is insidious, and the way they're doing it is by using the laws as a tool. The laws are only as good as the laws are, and their powers are only as good as the laws are. And so the way they've gone about doing this is very methodical.
The intimate relationships between Bateman and his so-called followers also poses a problem for prosecutors as they work to get more information from witnesses.
This is just a very difficult case for the prosecution to make because of the tight-knit nature of the community, and one that they're taking on by doing a very methodical case that focuses on what they can prove without any witness testimony. These are the toughest kinds of cases to make, where you have witnesses who don't want to talk. And so that's why the government has charged it in a way that doesn't really require any witness testimony at all. The deleting of the Signal app is actually a forensic computer case. It's a very similar kind of prosecution technique to a white collar case. It doesn't require victims. It doesn't require witnesses. They'll be able to take some of the testimony that's already out there.
Because of that, Levin says prosecutors cannot plan to form their case around bombshell witness testimony.
Now, obviously, they'd like to supplement that with more people saying, yes, he told us to delete the Signal app. That would shore up the case, but it doesn't hinge on it in particular. It means that they have a base to begin with that doesn't require them flipping anybody. But you're absolutely right. In a tight-knit community like this, where a lot of the witnesses, a lot of the alleged victims are not going to wind up flipping or talking to authorities, they're building the case the way that they have to. There may be other charges where they believe that other federal laws were broken, but until they feel like they have enough evidence to actually convince a jury of that and to sustain the charges, they may be reluctant to do that. So they're doing this strategically to get a conviction, and they will bring more charges if they feel that they have evidence to support those charges.
Bateman's federal trial is expected to begin on March 14th. He's pleaded not guilty to those charges. Reporting for Law&Crime Network, I'm Sierra Gillespie.